Welcome back, everybody. It's another episode of Bobby J on 30A. I'm your co-host, Chris Angel, and I'm here with your host, Bobby Johnson.
Hey, Chris. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm outside again, man.
Dude, I love outside, man. I wish I could be outside right now. I just don't trust my Wi-Fi.
By the way, what is your weather roughly now?
We're getting, like on a good day, we'll get into the 60s right now and sunny. It was 36, though, this morning when I walked the dog, so.
Well, we were yesterday in the 70s, then it dropped to the upper 40s. So we'll get a little bit of that up and down right now. But
I love seeing the pictures of the water where you are, though, man. The water where you guys are is so beautiful.
It's epic here. Yeah, it really is. And then, but then it gets hot quick. So we have amazing springs and amazing falls. And then summer, you have 3 months where it gets brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I hear that. Well, speaking of how it is there and locally, right? Like, you've been there. You've been in 30A. You grew up there?
Yeah. So my grandmother had a country store. We talked about that early on in 1975 on 98. And then we moved here as a family like 1980 to Seagrove Beach.
Wow.
And, been local and running hard for a long time. I mean, cause you could look through the photos and all the websites. This place was, there was nothing here. I mean, nothing.
Wow.
I wish I would have known how cool, at that time, I didn't know. I was like, my parents moved us from Chicago area to here. I was like, are you kidding me?
Wow.
We're in the middle of nowhere. Now it's like, it's really, really taken off.
You've been real estate there. How long? How long have you been selling real estate in 30A?
I think I got in 1999. So it's been a while. Yeah. Wow. I had an art and furniture store years ago, and it turned into a pretty big operation on me.
Right.
And I just, I was selling art and I was making, $200 or $300 selling a painting. Right. And someone told me, you could sell ice to an Eskimo. And they were like, these houses are 500,000 and 600,000 and 5 or 6% of that's a little more money than 200. And I started doing the math and I was like, whoa, wait a minute. But I do believe real estate's something to get good at it. You have to kind of have lived a little bit of a life.
Oh yeah. Big time.
Some people get in it though, or at young ages, and they do great. But I think that's more rare. I think you need to have been involved in businesses and just a journey to get to where you are. And then
absolutely. So here's what I'm interested in, right? Like if I look at the real estate world in the last, I got into real estate in 2001. If I look at like the expansion of franchises and global brands in real estate and the acquisitions like Reology, acquiring all sorts of like C21 Caldwell, there's all of these things now under loops of umbrellas of big companies. How is it that you as an independent how do you stick around? Like, how have you survived?
Well, fortunately, I have been with many of those brands after, a real estate career coming on 20 years.
Right.
I started as a St. Joe real estate agent, which was basically the biggest landowner in this area. Right. Oh, and we were purchased by Caldwell Banker early on, which kind of broke my heart at that time. I didn't know what Coldwell Banker was, so I was like, oh my God, I'm working for a big corporate franchise. Right. And I'm really grateful for that experience. Every company, every real estate brokerage I've been with, I'm very grateful for. But I learned a lot of it is fluff and smoke and mirror, it really is. And these bigger box brands, they do pitch a lot of, oh, we touch these people or we touch that people, or we have this international connection. And, I told you one time before I was with a brokerage and we paid $5,000 a month for this international icon to stick on our website and on our marketing pieces because we get international leads. And I got zero from that corporate company. And I think a lot of it is more, again, we talk about this all the time, relationships, but I know when I travel, I'm looking for the local people, the local companies that kind of give me more of the inside track.
Yeah.
And that's the approach that as far as competing goes that I go after.
Yeah.
And it's been very successful as a brand of 30A local properties, that we may not have every tool and every widget that a big franchise company has, but having been with those franchise companies, we never used them. Now, when we come to listing appointments, boy, do we bring it.
Right.
Ooh, look at this and this and this and this. And people
Right.
go, ooh, look at that.
Uh-huh.
The reality of it is it's all a bunch of fluff. I mean, boilerplate material. Think about it. They take that to every listing appointment.
Right.
I don't even bring listing appointments anymore because
Right.
how do I know what I'm going to do for your home? I've never been in it yet. I have to develop it.
Yeah.
Which leads to the system that I developed.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about it. I've been using it in listing appointments, and I don't mind sharing it to the public. I mean, I do a video on it, and I can share it openly because a lot of agents that I compete with can't really use the system because it's basically the truth, and you can't use, it's not your truth, it's my truth and my company's truth of how we approach sales. So
yeah, what is it?
You ready?
Yeah, I want to know.
Drum roll.
Yeah, I'll give you drum.
And we'll connect the link down below. I did a video on it. We'll connect on it.
Okay.
I'll put the video link to it. So it's called the Local Advantage, and many people have heard me that work with me, or competitors probably heard me talk about it quite a bit. So, and again, I love my little acronym. See, is that right? Acronym? Did I say that right?
Yeah, acronym. Yeah, LOCAL. Yep, local.
So location. Every home I believe tells a story. And oftentimes when I go to a listing appointment, I don't only know the story. I know about who developed the property, who built the property, who was the architect of the property. And oftentimes, like for instance, I was selling a home over in Dune Allen. And I'm always looking for like the more of the story of the location of the property. And I think that really helps when you tell the story to the complete story, excuse me. And I knew I was missing something on this listing. And then this lady at the health food store the other day goes, hey, your dad built that home that you just listed. I mean, this thing is 25 years old, right? And I go, really? I knew there was something about this house. Went back to the web or back to Facebook and Instagram, and I posted that my dad had built it with a new picture on it. And another guy called me up. It was under contract within 1 week.
Wow.
But because they had more of the story of the location of the property and the history. So that's location. And
by the way, just speaking to that though, real quick, Bobby, the fact that you have been in that community as an agent and involved in development and have relationships you have, that's the cool part. It's not just location, as in where is it? It's location as in what's the story of the location. And a lot of times people have a hard time telling the story because they haven't been in the community long enough to have a story.
They don't know this. Yeah. They don't know the story. They might be able to make it up, but it's fun to, again, like I said, knowing who developed it or who built it, it all adds to it. So the next one is organic. And I think this is the most critical one to me, because I see so many listing presentations and agents come into homes and it's all boilerplate, right?
Yeah.
I bring in my results over the past 20 years of what I've done in sales, but I also say that, I'm going to take an organic approach. There's going to be basic things that I do, right? Of course, right? Boilerplate stuff, right? Yes, we connect to 900 websites. We do all the same stuff that the big box brands do, but I try to approach it from a little bit different. I mean, people now are going, well, are you going to do a video? Are you going to do a video of my home? I mean, no one really watches these videos.
Right.
And I'll do a video, but first of all, I'm going to have world-class photography, right? But I'm going to let the house speak to me a little bit. I've done real estate. Let's go live. And begin. What does it need? Where are we short? You can begin to analyze all this stuff now online. And then if I do a video, my video might be me at the front door. Hey, this is Bobby. Welcome to 263 Woodbriar. And the door opens. Now we tour through it. And then we're on the backyard going out on a paddleboard. But it's more organic than couple people that invented something 50 or 60 years ago to come up with a great listing package. So I take an organic approach there. Then the communities of 30A, again, our areas along 30A are 30A and then various communities that we've shared that, and you've probably looked online. I have a really good understanding when I work with buyers and sellers of the various communities, how to get in near a community sometimes without having to be in a community.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So then you're with these HOAs, you have all these issues with if if someone says, I want to be in a community, I want to pay this HOA, well, let's try Old Seagrove. And here's why you want to be in Old Seagrove. So, it was established in the 50s by Cube McGee. And so, I understand the communities, again, who developed them. And that's basically what 30A is. In my opinion, it's one big community with a bunch of little ones inside of it. So, next is advertising. I use a multi-layer level of approach to that. I always tell people, in listing appointments, people say, well, I don't do print anymore. I'm like, well, that's just your agent telling you that he doesn't want to spend money on print. I think you have to do all of it. I think you have to do, obviously look at what you and I do. I mean, I've been following, you're digging deep into marketing right now and advertising, and where do we go with it? I mean, I think, again, the boilerplate material says we're going to go here, 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 and here. I don't think you can this day and age. I think you got to really take a $1,000 ad, right? In a newspaper, right? I was spending $1,200 a month not long ago in a newspaper. Do you know what $1,200 ad looked like in Facebook? I mean, you have more business than you know what to do with. Oh yeah,
a dollar stretches far on Facebook.
You really, really have to be up on your advertising and your budget. And being a listing specialist, I have spent years and years of spending money on what not to do. Okay? So I develop a budget every year based off of last year, and I build a cast net. I try to hit as much as I can in that budget. So good. And then of course, finally, leads and database. I've been doing this for 20 years as an agent, 30 years as a business owner along 30A. And for whatever reason, I began collecting numbers and phone numbers and emails that long ago. So I have a huge sphere in that area in database. I think we are in the database collection business. I don't think I'm in the real estate business. So I collect phone numbers and emails, put them in a place, touch these people when we get new properties. And it's that simple, man. I mean, I keep it very local in nature. And it works. I mean, the proof's in the pudding. I should close 65 or 70 homes this year. So I know my program works.
Yeah, so good. I love the return to local. I feel like years ago I heard that real estate is a local business done by local real estate agents and their sphere of influence. Like ultimately that is the game. And I don't think that's changed as much as technology has come out and all that stuff. If you look at NAR's, National Association of Realtors reports, like people still choose agents based on relationship. And I think that you're a great relationship guy. You're great at relationship because you get people. And the whole database thing you mentioned, just in our episodes in this show, you've mentioned all sorts of people in the community. You've given shouts out to all sorts of different people in the community. And it just points to that, people, like, the community. And I think that's really important right now.
Well, thank you. And again, I don't want to walk away from here thinking that, this is, franchises are bad, local boutiques are better. I don't think it's that at all. I think it's more, my approach, right? And that's who I'm competing with again today is me. And I think that for me, I've been in all directions of it. The boutique kind of fits who I am. And I think that the competitors in the bigger franchise boxes, they obviously do great as well. But I've learned over the past few years, I'm gonna be competing with just Bobby and then within my company.
I love it. Well, if people want to reach out to you to buy a house, sell a house, invest in real estate, or just, hear more about the community, where do people go?
So 30alocalrealestate.com or 30alocalproperties.com, or Google Bobby J on 30A, and you'll find all kinds of weird stuff about me. I think there's an interview floating around there about nude beaches, actually, somewhere. True story.
Well, I have to go look at that one, maybe.
It actually was a big hit, actually. If you put anything like that on the internet, it goes viral. But it was about as kids, we had this place called Bear Tit Beach. And all that basically was where the girls used to take off their tops at the beach, and when we were in high school and stuff like that. So we nicknamed it as surfers. And you always have to have a space that you go to, a beach, and that became
that was the beach.
And I won't say where it's at. So
you'll have to have
it's still a little bit like that.
You'll have to have coffee with Bobby if you really want to know. Awesome, Bobby. Well, thanks for another great episode. The Local Advantage. You guys can reach out to Bobby on his websites. Until next time, Bobby, take care.
All right, man. See ya.
Yeah.